TeamPokeColors family, welcome back to yet another video. And guys, today we're going to be taking a look at how you, yes, that's right, you watching right now, can get started in collecting Pokemon cards in the year 2021. It's a very strange time where there's spurts of product restocks, and then next thing you know, at least for me, I don't know how it is for you guys. You can let me know down in the comment section. Leave a comment, let me know how your local card stores and retailers are doing with their Pokemon product. Because recently at my local Walmart, it's kind of a hit or miss. I went to Walmart today, found some Battle Styles packs, but that was all the product they had, and nobody really wants Battle Styles at the moment. So, I mean, if you wanted to start collecting, maybe Battle Styles might be the set for you, because that's literally the only thing I can seem to find lately. But yeah, today, guys, we're just going to be taking a look at what I would recommend for new people coming into the hobby. And it is just a hobby for me personally. It's not a source of income. I don't like scalpers. I don't buy cards to resell. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as more like a hobby and a kind of a nostalgia kind of thing too. So yeah, I have at least 5 years of collecting Pokemon card experience under my belt. So we're going to take a look today at some probably 3 or 4 tips I recommend for new people coming into the hobby. And before the video starts, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to smash like and subscribe with notifications. All right, that's all you got to do. And if you find something of value from this video, definitely leave a like as well. Greatly appreciate it. So taking a look at these cards here, you're like, wow, these are pretty sweet. What's the point? Like, whoa, you got what are these level X cards? Like, what the heck's that mean? Or you got some EX cards. Like, what are these about? Or maybe a GX and a weird looking EX. And these are just some cards that I've kind of gravitated to over my years of collecting. And to start out, I used to collect cards. I used to have them as a kid, and I always had them around. Don't know what. I never ever remember going to the store and buying a pack to open. I just remember the cards I had. I always had cards around, but I don't have any memory whatsoever of buying Pokemon cards and opening them. So I don't know how I ever got them as a kid. I don't know if my parents got them and brought them home and for me to open, or if I got them from a friend, or what. Like, I have no recollection of that whatsoever. But there are certain cards that I remember from that time period. And some of which are these old school EX style cards. This one, I never used to have this one as a kid, because I just never had this one. But this type of style, I remember I had the Dragonite Delta species. That was the only EX that I had from back in the day. And that card is currently in a completed set binder, so I'm not going to worry about showing him off. But Mewtwo is just as good. So when COVID, backstory, a little bit of backstory about me and my collecting history. So I had Pokemon cards as a kid, and when my little younger cousin, aka TeamPokeColors member Alex, turned 10 years old, I had a binder of Pokemon cards, and I'm like, here, buddy, you can have them. I knew he was still into it at the time, back when Heart Gold, Soul Silver was a thing. He was huge into it, actually. And played the games and whatnot. I didn't really care for him at the time because I was too cool, too old. I was like 13 or something like that. I don't know, 12 or 13. I'm like, I'm not gonna ever use these. I'll give them to him. And yeah, gave him my whole collection. And then he introduced me to Pokemon back when we were riding the bus on our way home. The release day of Furious Fists. I remember that because he's really excited about it, telling me about it, saying I should get into it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a shot. And from then on, we've just been into Pokemon ever since, both of us together. Started the original TeamPokeColors channel, not this one. This isn't the OG channel. The OG channel only had like 100 subscribers, and we used like botted subscriber trains because we were kids and didn't care about actually having an audience. And then, over time, we got rid of that, lost the account, lost access to it, unfortunately. And, from then on, we were just like kind of collecting on the side here and there. And I ended up selling all my cards when I moved to college because I wanted to buy, I don't know, something. Just wanted some money for college, I guess. And short story, You know, after that, it wasn't until what happened? What? I'm trying to think of what got me back into modern Pokemon cards. I bought Fates Collide when it came out here and there, but it was really when Team Up was out 2 summers ago in 2019. I was filming a video, buying some Fortnite Nerf guns, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't bought any Pokemon cards in forever. And it was actually the Detective Pikachu movie that I opened a bunch of packs that I got when I went to the movie theater because I used to work there, so I got a lot of bonus packs extra that I probably shouldn't have gotten. But yeah, it's been a long journey, so let's just say I know a little bit here and there about Pokemon cards. So for tip number one for you guys, I know it took 5 minutes to get to this point, but you know, I needed a video for today, and I'm like, you know what, let's just talk about what you should do as a new collector. So tip number one, guys, make sure you collect what you like. I know everybody and your grandma has heard that before, okay, but it's honestly the truth. These cards here, I didn't buy because I didn't care for them, even though this one's massively damaged, and you know, this one's actually, this Magnezone is actually not too bad condition-wise, but this guy's here is absolutely torched in the back. But if you're in it for the money, you're not in it for the right thing. And honestly, that's what happens to most people who try to get into Pokemon cards is they, you know, realize like, oh, I can spend $4 on a booster pack and pull a card that's worth hundreds maybe. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that's like, why would you not buy packs and try to open all the packs and try to, you know, get the money cards to sell, you know? And that's okay to do that. If you're into that, that's cool. Like, I respect that you're into that, okay? I'm not going to downplay any of that kind of stuff. But honestly, if you're into it for that, then I think you should probably just, you know, take it easy sometimes. I don't know. It's hard to say, man. There's too many people out there. You don't know if they're buying it to open with their kid at home or if they're buying the whole shelf out because they are greedy and don't give a crap about anybody else and they want to get all the money cards. Or maybe they just do it for content. I mean, I don't know. You know, there's all kinds of different situations. So that's my tip number one. Collect what you like, because at least if, say this card, you know, you got it for $60. You're like, wow, that's kind of expensive. You know, and say it depreciates over time and they reprint it 80,000 times over, like, I don't know, Darkness Ablaze VMAX Charizard, for example. You know, because when it first came out, it was worth like, I don't know, 120, $150. About the price of the booster box itself, and then now it's, you know, down to about $80. So, you know, at that point, you got to get something you like so that at least if it goes down in value, you still are okay with just looking at it. Some cards that I don't care to look at right now, for example, are for sale on my eBay that I bought just because I didn't have any. Are these, well, really any of these, but are these cards from Japan that I bought on an impulse buy from eBay. I mean, I thought they were kind of cool, but I wasn't like super adamant about them, honestly. I mean, the backs are kind of neat. They got little, you know, little different artworks and stuff like that. But at the same time, guys, I'm like, do I really care to have these in my collection when I only collect English cards? They just kind of look like a sore thumb. So these are for sale on my eBay if you're interested. Got a lot of people interested in them. I'm not interested in them, however, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of them and sell them to somebody else that might have a little bit more appreciation for them than me. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, in terms of starting out a collection of Pokemon cards, is just to be careful. It can be a lot of fun at first. A lot of this stuff is new. I remember, you know, getting into something. I mean, if you get into anything new, it's got that like kind of euphoria of like, oh my gosh, like this is so much fun. Like it's like an adrenaline rush. Like you have to have everything, and you know, it can be kind of dangerous at the same time. You know, when I first started out, it was when the pandemic really hit that I actually started buying a shit ton of cards off of eBay. So at that point, you know, I was like, I gotta be careful with how much money I'm spending. And sure enough, I wasn't careful and spent a lot of money on lots, you know, with level X cards or with old school EX cards, you know, that I just bought because they were cheaper than what TCG Player told me at the time. And, you know, then at that time I was trying to buy to resell, but I never resold because I just liked the cards too much, and that was my problem. So yeah, you got to be real careful with this kind of stuff too, because where there comes great power, comes great responsibility. I mean, you know, this guy right here, you know, he's not super expensive, but if you buy a lot with like all these guys and just to get one, that's what I would do a lot. I would find a lot, say there's a lot of 4 here, and I'm like, well, I only really care for the Heat Ran level X. All the other ones are just kind of like, whatever. I would try to win it just for one card anyways when I could just buy the one card outright. And that's, you know, something I learned over time too. And there's a lot of different little things here and there that I could do videos on and that I'll probably do videos on to help you guys and learn from my mistakes. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to have fun, honestly. If you're not having fun with it, you're probably not in it for the right reasons, or, you know, you're just, maybe it's just not your thing. You know, at least if you tried it out, you didn't like it, that's okay, because at least you tried something new. And, you know, that's kind of where I look at it from a standpoint of, you know, collecting because you like Pokemon and not because you're in it for the price of the cards or the possible chase card that you can pull from a Champion's Path. Welcome, scalpers, if you're watching. You guys started this with Champion's Path. I don't want to hear it. All right? Because I could still find Hidden Fates boxes on the shelves in April of 2020. That is roughly 6 months after release date. Champion's Path, you couldn't find it on the shelves until 6 months later. So that's just my little rant there. But yeah, definitely have fun with it. If you guys love Pokemon for what they are to you, what they mean to you, and the cards themselves, and this Magnezone level X I had as a kid, and I got it from my dad when we went shopping after I mowed the lawn or something, and then, you know, I lost it because somebody at recess took it and ran off with it. I never saw it again, but then I bought it back now that I'm 20 years old and have adult money, and I'm like, wow, I want this card graded. And then you consider grading it, and then it's a cherished prize collection piece. You know, I have some cards at PSA right now that I'm waiting on actually to get graded, or waiting for them to send them back to me. I don't even know at this point. Hard telling with how PSA is now. But I mean, honestly, those cards, you know, some of them I graded to sell, make some money, you know, help pay for college and apartment and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, I graded some of those other cards because I wanted to have those forever in my collection, like my Rainbow VMAX Charizard that I pulled from Champion's Path. Actually, this Elite Trainer box it was in, funny enough. So that thing's getting graded. If it grades a 9 or 10, I don't care what it grades. It could grade a 2. As long as it's, you know, graded, I'm going to keep it because it's just amazing to have something I pulled be a chase card, a Rainbow Charizard graded card that I pulled, you know. It's just kind of like that kind of feeling too. So that's, you know, 3 tips on how to get started with collecting Pokemon cards in 2021. And as a little bonus tip for you guys, if you made it this far in the video, bonus tip, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought of it, actually. I had it on my head, had it on the top of my head, and kind of lost track. So, yeah. I guess I can think of one right quick. I had one, and I lost it. I just mind blanked. Oh, my God. What was it? Jesus. Oh, yeah. Bonus tip. Make sure that if you purchase any card, whether it's, you know, an EX or a GX or another EX or a level X, make sure that if you buy it, make sure you know what your intentions are before you buy it. So, for example, this card here, you're like looking at it. Do you like it for the artwork? Maybe. Do you like it for the condition? Maybe not. Flip it over. Do you like it for the condition? Definitely not. Are you buying this card to resell? If so, take into account the condition and the artwork. And is it really something that you could probably sell? Probably, just because, I mean, there's damaged Pokemon cards for sale on eBay all the time. But honestly, if you're wanting to get, you know, if you're in it for the money, which, you know, I understand if you are. I've been there. I tried to buy to resell back in COVID and didn't know if I could even couldn't work. But, you know, you always want to take a look at the card for what it is rather than the price tag, because this goes along with purchasing PSA graded cards. I don't have any on hand because they are in my locked room in my household, stored away. But for example, I don't know if you guys have seen before. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. But I do have a PSA 6 Skyridge Reverse Energy holographic card. You know, and that's something that I bought because, yeah, it was a Skyridge card, and I knew what it was, and it was really cheap. It was like 30, I don't even think it was 30, it was probably like 25 bucks. And, you know, I bought it with the intention of keeping it, maybe reselling, but I really bought it because the card inside the case, to me, is not as bad as a PSA 6 should be graded, and only because it's Skyridge, they probably graded it really hard, because Skyridge is a really old set, and if it grades high, that means it will be worth a lot of money. So sometimes PSA likes to just find the littlest errors in anything old school, and then you send into something that's brand new, like a GX 10 promo, and you get a PSA 10 like it's nothing, you know. So they like to do that sometimes, so just be aware of that if you do consider selling or buying any PSA graded cards. Buy the card for what it is, not the price tag, or if it's a PSA card, not the grade. Like, if you look at it and it's like, dude, that should easily be a 10, but it's only a 6, buy it if you can't afford it, obviously. That's what I did with the PSA 6 card, and, you know, if I ever crack the case open, which I would in a million years never do, but if I ever wanted to do that, maybe get it regraded, it might grade better than a 6, because the card is just insanely good in terms of condition. There's no scratches on it or nothing. Like, I don't even know what made it a 6, because a centering issue would only cost 1 point, not 4. You know what I mean? So it's something like that you guys should be aware of too, and that's your little bonus tip for staying this long in the video. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Sorry it ran a little bit longer with my 5-minute story starting off, but maybe you found some use out of that somehow. Got to know a little bit more about me, and that's what it's about, guys. We're here to educate, learn, have fun together, and, you know, learn a bit about each other. I mean, I read every one of your guys' comments, so if you are nervous or, you know, just curious about anything of me or about me, anything like that, I mean, we can honestly do a Q&A video one of these times, which honestly I think would be really cool. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go film a TikTok about that. Check it out, link in description. Instagram down there as well. Subscribe with notifications. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a TCG related opening, hopefully. You know, uploads every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if you guys are watching this on either one of those days, check it out. Check out the channel. We might have more content on the way. Definitely do. We got a lot of content coming. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been yet another learning experience for the both of us, and hopefully you guys have some good luck in using these tips in your future endeavors with Pokemon, whether you're in it for the money or the cards or just for the fun of it. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.